Welcome back. I'm so thrilled to bring back our summit speakers from day 2. We've had an incredible day and we were just celebrating how much we learned and the impact that we've made to people's lives already. I am here with our co-host, Thais Glenn, who I could not do this without, not only getting our coaches prepared, but just hosting the whole summit. So welcome back, Thais.
Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. This summit was so good. And the best part is that we keep on going, right? Right after the summit, we have the replays that you guys can still watch, and there's so much more going on. The summit is definitely a beautiful tradition now for us. Very fun.
That's right. So, what I want to do today, ladies, is I would love to hear from you just your perspective of what this summit was like, maybe who you coach. Everybody needs to know that again, who you coach, what you thought, maybe what you learned. I have a whole list of notes that I'm going to have to go back through. So, Victoria, I'm going to start with you.
My name is Victoria. I'm a body mind well-being coach, and I had a big pleasure being part of this amazing summit. And I coach busy women who deal with chronic tension in their bodies that is caused by chronic stress. So my talk was about how to learn to respond to stress, because as we all know, and let's just say it one more time, that life is stressful, life was stressful, and life will always be stressful. So it's not about avoiding stress. It's about learning how to respond to it. And this is something that's going to set you for life, for to quiet your mind as well, right? And therefore quiet your body and release the tension. So the first thing that I thought after the summit and how I felt, I was like, this is like portal. So now speaking from the coach perspective and as a participant, as a facilitator and as a business owner, this is definitely a portal. So as a coach, as a woman who wants to start a coaching business or that is in a coaching business but wants to take off for real, this is definitely... It's a preparation for this summit is like going on a runway, and then you just start and you go faster, after till the last week. And then last days are just like this kind of, are we taking off? And then the day of the summit is like taking off. And now I definitely already feel, because I also myself, so this is a great success. Like I already had like over 20 opt-ins, and I already within the second day was happening, and I already had a first call from VIP attendees. So I already did a coaching call, and I will be talking about more details and offers how I can work with this woman to help her more. That's like, now it's like maintaining this flight. And that's also why it's so important that you are enrolled in the program that is holding you the container of our beautiful coaching group with Debbie and Thais, so that you have this support going on. Because I already myself realized that, oh, this is only the beginning. We think, okay, I just make it to the summit day, then I do the talk, and okay, I'm gonna rest. And okay, yes, we should rest definitely, get the sleep. But actually now the work starts, another stage of work starts, which is so important. That's why it's so important that you have beautiful coaches and like very knowledgeable coaches and that believe in you for real, so that you keep the momentum going.
Yeah. Oh, Victoria, I love your analogy. The airplane and flying, that is so perfect. I will steal it. And we'll use it on the summit preparations, because that is exactly how it works. I was talking to Debbie before that the program is where you learn everything and you build that foundation for your business. And it's a pretty solid foundation, where you learn not just the basic, but you really learn how to have the business. And then you come into the summit and you put it all in practice. So it's exactly what you said. It goes in a little bit slow, right? Like, let's just give the bio. Let's just see the name of your talk. And then by the last week, you're like, okay, now it's full run. And you guys all flew today. That was such a beautiful, wonderful experience. Thank you for sharing that. Next, I would love to hear from Marie.
I have to tell you that this is really, I was here last year. It was my very first year. So I was like jumping in to the pool and not really looking at what I was doing. I was just going like this. This time around, I went different. I came into it differently. And I can tell you that the VIP for me, and I got the VIP last year, and I got it again this year. This year, I'm so excited because I was so busy the first day trying to take the QR code so that I can go back and listen and check everybody out. And then today I got lost in all of that because I was so busy listening. But I realized, as I said earlier, that this is a group of women there's such collaboration here. And this is a great opportunity for me to look and see, okay, who does what? And what is their expertise? And how, and Dr. Cheryl said it earlier, we don't all do everything. We all have our own specialties. And not everybody wants to coach with me. I have a little sign behind my desk that says, I'm not for everyone, because I'm not. There are other people, there are other women who will be served better by the women that I surround myself with. And doing the summit allowed me to be a part of that. But to even add to that is the level of expertise and the amount of effort to work on training the coaches that Debbie and Thais put into us is so important, because the coaching is one thing, but the business is a different side of it. And that's where I'm gaining and getting more knowledgeable. And the summit allows me to see that and to see that part of it. I have to say, I am so grateful to be a part of this. And I'm so glad that I was here yesterday and I'm here today.
Thank you, Marie. Okay, Terry, tell us your takeaway. By the way, I loved your talk. I love what you're doing. So anyway, tell us about your takeaway from the summit. Anything else you want to share? That would be beautiful.
And I started off going in one direction and then ended up going in a little different direction, which was a blessing in disguise, although I was into creating my talk and all of that. So I had to retool everything. But it really helped me get so much clarity around who I help and how I help them, which I thought I knew. But it's like, I think sometimes we have blinders on when it comes to our business. We think we do one thing and we realize that we're missing the point, so to speak. So for me, like after working through the talk and then revamping it, I realized that I wasn't really leaning into the financial side of what I do. And I was mainly leaning into what are the things that make you happy, like more of the life coaching. And then by putting the two together, it was like that big aha moment that I don't need to abandon the financial side just because I sold an asset management business. And that I can take, after doing that work with you and Tice that we did separately, I realized that the money side is like money touches every part of our life. And if people aren't happy or they're feeling disconnected in some respect or not satisfied, a lot of times it does come back to money, that they have money issues or they feel like they're not worthy or they feel like they can't afford something because they don't know what they can afford and what they can't afford. So as a result, they hold back on a lifestyle that maybe they can afford.
Wow.
And helping people navigate that was like when I thought about Tony, and I thought about that's exactly what I did with her, was that she would have kept on working if she didn't find out that she could afford to stop if she chose to. And part of making that choice had to do with, what will I do with myself? How will I find that sense of purpose and fulfillment? And that's where the two worlds came together. It was like the left and right brain coming together for her. And just to walk beside her through that. After we did our work and before I knew that she had passed away, my reaction watching her was it's hard for me to talk about her without getting emotional, but I thought to myself, if I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm dying a happy woman.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. Hey coaches, it's Debbie Shadid here. I've got something very special for you. If you're trying to figure out how to get coaching clients on your own and you're wondering what to post, how to explain what you do, or how to actually sell your coaching, this is for you. I'm inviting you to join me for a live edition of the Fast Track and VIP coaching experiences. This is your chance to stop spinning in indecision and finally take those actions that are needed to build a profitable coaching business. You'll get the answers, the guidance, the support you're looking for, plus real-time feedback on your niche, your offers, and your marketing. Spots are very limited and enrollment closes soon. Let's connect. debbieshadid.com/schedule to claim your spot and to talk about your options. Let's get you clients faster and easier than you ever imagined.
Okay, you guys listening, you need to get the VIP pass to listen to her talk and that story, how unbelievably amazing that story was. Very heartfelt and changing your perspective for sure. Right.
It completely changed how I viewed my business. And in that process, that's when I realized for certain that I need to just focus on this, on doing this work. There are plenty of people out there that can do asset management. I don't need to do that. I never really enjoyed it. I did it because it was something that we did. I wouldn't say it gave me a great deal of fulfillment. And I was good at it. I did a really good job with it, but this is the work that really fills my cup. And I feel like for the rest of my career, however long I'm working, as long as people want to hire me, I'm going to keep on going. As long as I have my marbles and people want to hire me, I have no intention of stopping. So thank you for that. That was life-changing for me.
Sometimes Debbie and I, we have a hard time trying to explain exactly what we do inside of the program. And I think, and you guys are all here, you are on video, right? You can see if I'm lying or not here. But sometimes I really do believe our work, it goes so above and beyond that it's hard to explain because I wouldn't believe if I heard some of the things that we do. So in your case, and again, if you don't want this story shared, it's okay. But you came to work with us as an unbelievably well-trained coach. So we have never had the thought or we didn't think that you wouldn't be a good coach. So we had that initial conversation and how do you coach your people and everything, and then came in the summit that you're participating from the very beginning. And you gave us a whole talk. I think you have even recorded the talk, maybe it was the script. But I remember I saw that first and I contacted Debbie behind her back, Terry. I was like, Debbie, I'm not sure about this one. What do you think? So she read it again. And then we got together for a good couple of hours talking about your talk, for both of us to be on the same page, trying to understand how your ideal client needed to be talked to for them to understand what you do. So that's what we say with the marketing message that we teach here inside of the Business Building Boutique. It's not just, let's use the AI to get your talk written, or let's just use AI to get your message for your website. No, it's actually all those layers of how would your ideal client understand what you wanted to say. And then with you was even more impressive because it was like, okay, but is your ideal client someone who wanted to be retired? Or someone who still wants to work for a little bit more and then think about retirement, right? That is how deep we go into your marketing message. So with you, I think it was, for me, such a great example of how above and beyond you go. Because when Debbie and I got on the same page, we invited you for a call and said, okay, let's all get on the same page on what you do. So again, your process never changed. The way you coach people stayed the same. So we know you're a very capable coach. What really changed was this shift of how do we talk to the people that you want to serve? And that's
how do we present it? And it really just needed that extra layer.
Right.
Because it wasn't like you said, oh, you're going to talk to people about their 401k. And I said, no, I don't talk about investments at all. What I talk about is the deeper side of, what if you lost your job? And this is a big thing that a lot of women seriously worry about when they get to be over 45 in their 50s. And I've seen it many times that they're afraid if they get downsized or the company decides to give them the pink slip, they won't find a job that's comparable. And if they don't find a job that's comparable, will they be okay financially? That's a big question for a lot of women. And that's what I help them sort out. If they find, like Tony did, she could retire that day. She might not have, but she had the option. Work was an option for her. But for someone who finds out that they're way behind in their savings, and if they retire, they're going to be out of money in 10 years, that's a whole different ball of wax. But they need to know that, not asking the question, that even if you don't verbalize it and you don't go to somebody and you don't try to find the answer, that question is gnawing at you all the time, and it creates the stress that Victoria talks about. That's what happens. It builds up. It doesn't go away because we're not addressing it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Terry. Wow, such wisdom. Okay, I want to go back to Marie. Marie, would you mind just sharing a little bit more about who you coach and how you help them?
I coach women, and I coach women who are looking for a way to step away from being afraid all the time. And coming from the generation that I come from, most of us are afraid. We're taught we have to do this, and that's all we are and who we are. And I'm glad that I had the women before me who basically wrapped me in the head and said, no, but it didn't really hit me because when you go into the working environment, when you go into the marriage environment, all of that comes with you. So I work with women who are at the point where Terry said it about 45, 50, where they're saying, what, there's more. And how does this relate to me in terms of who I am? And how do I take who I am and bring it forward and still be able to do all the other things that you want to work, you work, you don't want to work, you don't work. I think I'll be coaching forever. I know that I won't be working because it's not work.
Yes.
It's a space of who I am. So my goal is to help women be able to say, I'm happy with who I am, and to step into that and really believe it.
Thank you.
That's so true. Thank you so much. And again, another one that you need to watch her replay. If you're not here live, that was a must for sure. Okay, next, I wanted to hear from a coach who I love so much. I love listening and learning from her. And her talk was amazing too, because if you have that overthinking mind, Cheryl is your girl. So Cheryl, how was this experience? How was the summit for you? I want to hear everything.
Oh my goodness, the experience was great, but also I'm so glad that I did go the first day because I was so charged with all the other speakers, and I woke up early listening to the two that came before me, which included Debbie in there. And so for me, it was not just a great experience to empower me to do what I was doing, but also I learned so much, even about the process. Even though I had my own system in place, this just brought it into, let me just say, 2026, because I've been doing the same thing. And so it was nice to learn something new. And I work with helping professionals. And a lot of times, because I term it helping professionals, I think that individuals that don't identify as professionals because maybe they're taking care of a parent, where I know in California, you're taking care of a parent, you actually do get paid for doing that. And I include them in there. And in my talk, I talked about Anne, and I forgot to say that Anne is a compilation of 3 different clients that I had. And one of those clients actually was a daughter, and she was taking care of her parent. And so she was a part of that story that I share about Anne. And I bring not just what I do as a coach, but I bring all of the education and the experience that I've had as a therapist. But as a therapist, I found for myself that I wasn't as happy as I thought I could be being a therapist. And I finally figured it out where I said, I like providing not just the intervention, I want to do the prevention work. And before I even went in to become a therapist, I actually was going into looking at coaching. So I've returned to that full force that I am all in, that I am going to do this coaching thing. And in my talk, I talked about overthinking, the overthinking mind, because that's something that I definitely experienced myself. But what I did being an educator, also not only a mental health professional, but being, and I have a new term because I did a couple of work live sessions last week and this week, and one person gave me the term, not just retirement, but rewirement. And I said, yes, that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm rewiring how I do what I do and what I love to do. I loved actually providing therapy. It just didn't bring everything to me. I love my 30 years of being a professor, but now I want to rewire how I'm bringing it to everyone, and that's through coaching. I'm still doing the consulting also with helping organizations, but by coaching with individuals, what I do is I've done the research where I said a lot of times we think it's just one thing that's causing stress and burnout. But then as I looked at the different areas, I said, no, I found 8 areas, and overthinking mine is just one of them. One of them, but it's one that I was working on this month. So I said, hey, I'll do that one for the summit. Yeah, and I can't, the only other thing I have to say is that I love that Victoria, I really listen and follow Victoria on Instagram. And I'm new to Instagram, but I'm loving what I'm seeing because her movements and everything is exactly a lot of the things that I do teach. I have a focus on mindful meditation because I also found that many people misunderstand what mindful meditation is. But I also want them to know the importance of what I hear and see Victoria doing and how you bring them together to be able to find that peace, because my program is shifting into peace, but to be able to find that peace, which is moving that body and really a lot of the mindset, Thais, that you bring to us and bringing all of that into that. And when I get excited, I start talking fast. So let me slow down really quick and ask me a question because I'll keep going fast.
I love it. I love it. I love how you're coaching. You still bring a lot of the positive psychology. We talk a
Mhm.
lot about resilience and
Yeah.
the wellness.
Yeah.
It's just, I love listening to you
Oh, thank you
so
so
much,
much.
Cheryl.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to go to Glenna. I first want to talk about Glenna myself before I get to have her talk about herself. First of all, I am incredibly proud. I don't know, proud's maybe not the right word. I don't know what word I should be saying, but inspired, inspired. I'm incredibly inspired by any woman who says, I'm a Christian and I am, but who just literally makes that their business. That in itself is something that it just, my heart, it just really, that's for us to stand up for what we really value and to say it out there. That itself, Glenna, I have so much respect for you. And then just the way that you approach it about your body as the temple. And it's, oh my gosh, it is. So that right there, I have so much admiration for. And then the fact that you have lost all this weight. And I remember thinking, like, I get a gold star because I lost 35 pounds and I keep talking about it nonstop. You've lost 200 and something pounds and kept it off. It's unbelievable. The transformation that you have had. Just kudos to you, first of all, for being an incredibly inspiring woman. And there is no doubt that you know how to help people lose weight. And just weaving in this thing of surrendering to God. You talked about in the talk over a French fry. Yeah, amen. Who doesn't want to go eat the French fries? And you're like, God, take that feeling away from me. So I just want to say thank you. So anyway, you can talk now, Glenna, about yourself.
Well, I am a faith-based weight loss coach, and I have lost over 250 pounds on my own. I have 5 more pounds to go, and I'll be at my goal. So I'm super excited. Hopefully, not too much longer. But I really enjoy helping women on their weight loss journey, and seeing that it is a food addiction. I didn't necessarily view it that way or term it that way when I was going through it in my own process, but God gave me an inkling of an idea about 8 years ago about wanting to develop a 12-step plan. And I just didn't take the time to do it because I'm so busy. As you said, I have 3 jobs. And then I said, no, it's time. I want people to have help before they hit rock bottom. I don't want them to be like me and be at their rock bottom point. I don't want them to have to struggle for years before they wake up and go, oh no, I need to do something different. And so we really have to learn that to look at ourselves, do a lot of self-reflection and see that we have a problem and verbalize the problem and then surrender it to God and give ourselves grace as we're going on our journey. And I want to thank you and Thais both for helping me hone into that. This is my second summit. And so the first one, I was just getting my feet wet and then just really narrowing my niche a lot more and looking at what I actually do and what I want to do to help women. So I appreciate all y'all's help along the way.
I tell you, I am, again, not AA. We're not doing AA here, but this whole 12-step approach and addiction to food is just that in itself is like a whole new way of thinking about this overeating thing. And Glenna, I just see the future being Glenna's going to have her thing. She really is, because that is really, truly something. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Well,
you.
while Glenna was speaking, I had to take a little pause and go to my Instagram because I actually didn't want to forget this one thing that she said. But in my mind, as you were speaking, Glenna, the idea of you leaning into the Lord to give you the strength to achieve a goal, right? Because how many women are desperately for their whole lives thinking of losing weight? I have a 10-year-old daughter and she's thinking about it. She's thinking about losing weight. It's like, what's that in your mind? So can you imagine when she's 50, 60 years old and is still with that mentality of I need to lose weight? And the way you were explaining this in this talk today, Glenna, it really got my heart just warm, right? Lean into the Lord because He can give you the strength to really figure out this thing that has been eating you up for many years. And just one more thing that your talk brought to me. My favorite quote of all times, and I'm sure all of the coaches here know, it's that all progress starts by telling the truth. And that is one of the principles from AA, actually. So in your talk, when you mentioned the addiction and how you might be addicted to food, just the idea that you need to actually say that out loud to yourself. If no one else, say it out loud, because all progress starts by telling the truth. Are you addicted to food? Are you unable to lose weight because you just can't stop eating? And just that knowledge. And you also said, allow the Lord to be your sponsor. And wasn't it amazing? Your talk was brilliant. I think if you guys listening here, if you're a Christian and if you want to lose weight, Glenna is that top 1% coach for you. She is amazing and her approach is just so loving and so Christian. That is love. Thank you so much, Glenna.
Thank you. I appreciate those kind words.
Well, thank you so much, Glenna. You are amazing. And now I want to hear about another weight loss coach. And she talks a lot about bariatric surgery, how to be prepared for a bariatric surgery. And I never thought of that before, that maybe sometimes you need to lose weight to even qualify for that surgery. But she also gives that process for you to follow that is something that used to scare me a lot until I met Charlotte. And the way she explains the plant-based way of eating, amazing. So Charlotte, take over. Tell us your highlights for this summit and what you love the most.
It was just beautiful. And this is the reason why sometimes when you come to a summit, you are thinking, well, that's not going to apply to me. But I learned so much. Even listening to Lisa, I've never had a miscarriage, but just listening to her helped me to empathize with other people. And then I think it was Kathleen who was saying, even if you're not a widow, still keep listening. Because
Yes.
it was just something that you could learn from everyone. And there are bits and pieces that you can take away. And the only thing that I thought was amazing is that even if it doesn't apply to you now, it might apply to you in the future. So this is just something that you need to take in and tuck away. So that's why I got the VIP pass, because I need to sit down and absorb everything that was said so that it can help me. It can enhance me. But getting back to what I do, I am a bariatric weight loss coach. And I find there's a lot of people, not just bariatric patients, that need to lose weight before surgery. There are quite a few people who are having hip surgery, who are having knee surgery, and the doctor says, listen, I'm not going to touch you until you lose 40 or 50 pounds. So I have a strategic way of helping them to do that. And then there are people who have had the bariatric surgery like myself who gain the weight back. So my mission has been to help them to lose that weight again without having to resort back to pills and back to old diets that didn't work or back to shots, but helping them to work with their body. Because the body is a wonderful thing. And the brain is a wonderful thing. And when you work with it to lose weight instead of working against it, then you can be more successful. Because as I said in my presentation, hunger is not about willpower. Hunger is about biology. If you can stop the hunger, that can help you to stop the eating. So I'm just thrilled that I had the opportunity to do this again with you ladies, and that I had the help and support from you all to make it such a success.
Found it so good. And that's right. I actually forgot that you did teach that. And when I first listened to your talk before the summit, I was like, that makes so much sense, actually. That it's not just the willpower to lose weight. That's the thing that everyone tells you, right? Like, just eat less. And we see it as the biology. That's a little bit different. Yeah, that was amazing, amazing point in your talk. Thank you.
What is so fun is that so many of the speakers here were in our last summit, and I hope that they're going to be in our next summit. If you're listening, we are having our next summit the weekend after Labor Day in September. That's the time of year when people are looking to reset after the summer. We had over 1,000 women signed up last fall. We had an incredible summit. So I really want to encourage you to stay tapped into what we're doing. I must mention before I go on, there's a high chance that you have been at our summit and received emails from our speakers. And I want to encourage you to go to your promotions folder and to go to your spam and to go to your trash and look for their emails. I've been on a kick that email and all the others are doing their job in filtering those out to make it convenient for us. But that also means that you're not going to be able to hear from the coaches or hear from me unless you go find that email. So go look in your promotions folder for anything that you might have signed up for. And if you do get the VIP ticket, which is still available, designlivethrive.com, you can get the VIP ticket for a year's worth of replays. Again, please make sure when you sign up for something, it will be automated and come to you immediately, but go check the folder and look for it. You have to mark it either as safe or move it over to your primary inbox so that it will be delivered again. So there we go. Let me move on then and talk to Lisa. There was a lot of talk at the after party that we had to Lisa about your talk, Lisa. So thank you so much. She also was in our last summit, and what a blessing to have you back. So Lisa, you want to share a little bit more about the summit, your process, all those?
Yeah, we'll start with my process. And when I first started here, Debbie and Thais taught me that B- work is sufficient. And as you saw in my presentation, I incorporated that in when Cassidy, the character in my story, the case study, B- work, the good enough work is acceptable. When that was really hard for me to swallow because as a child, we are all taught, at least my generation, we're all taught that you shoot for A plus. I mean, B- is almost like a D. You always shot for perfection. An A-, you still had room to grow. So to clear that mindset was a chore. So it kept me totally stuck in Debbie's course for a long time. I didn't budge. I just stared at the material and I didn't do much. And I started posting. That was a huge step. But the perfection, that can leave us stuck. So it's a new thought. Maybe the younger generation today have embraced the good enough, but us, we are still in the perfection mode. But I just want to let you know that don't stop at, don't let it hold you back. Don't let the perfectionism hold you back because it's competency and not perfection that the world needs. It's a lie. So don't believe that lie. There are people waiting for us and for our competency. There's somebody for Glenna, there's somebody for me, there's somebody for Marie, there's somebody for all of us. And if we don't put ourselves out there, if we stay stuck because of perfectionism, we are guilty of holding back the gift that other people can receive. So that's my soapbox.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. I'll come back to you, but before Victoria needs to leave us for this recording, I just want to say to you, Victoria, I have so much gratitude, as I'm sure the other coaches right here on this call would say, so much gratitude for the eagerness that you bring to your coaching business, for the willingness to just go all in and come to our coaching calls and ask such quality questions and to be honest and open about what it's like to build a business and sort of the roller coaster of emotions. So I have so much gratitude for you, Victoria, for what you've been willing to do. And you have been a great inspiration to me, to Thais, and to all of us. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. And I felt like sharing what I told you yesterday in the message, that also one of the most, and also that refers to Lisa, actually, good enough is perfect. And just go for it. I struggle myself, like here, younger generation also, you helped me here definitely to go out of it. And to Debbie and Thais, is that this work is so amazing because they are creating this amazing container to encourage other women who can help so many more people. So here you're being helped so that you can start helping even more people. So it's like such an amazing ripple effect. And yesterday just even struck me so strongly. And I was like, wow, okay. And yeah, there are emotions involved, but this is exactly the place where you are held and supported. And you are not alone anymore, because I know how it is. No one understands you. And now I speak from a perspective of a business owner and a coach. No one really understands you. You're most likely the first one doing this in your family and breaking through some glass ceilings. And there was a lot of like generational wounds going on, and you don't even need to think about it. It's just like going on, and all this like exactly these roller coasters. And here you're helped, supported, and believed in, so that you can pass it forward. So thank you so much. And I'm going to watch the rest of the episode once it's published. Thank you so much.
All right. Victoria sent me a message that actually made me cry. She sent me a message yesterday just about the joy that she had doing the summit and the response that she had already gotten that really moved her. So I'm so grateful to have her. Lisa, I just want to go back to you for just a moment. And again, just thank you for the work that you do, because I appreciate what you said, that there is stages to this. If you are a woman who is listening to this and you're like, I want to be a coach, but there's all these like, I don't know, I don't want to put myself out there. There is like, you got to give yourself some grace, because there is really growth that comes through this. And Lisa has been so magical about helping everybody with social media. And that's a big thing that everybody struggles with, is social media. But even there, you start with the courage to post, like a graphic. Then it's like the courage to go live, a graphic, right? One thing after the other. And Lisa has started doing some things on YouTube. And I asked her, because this is my job, I asked her, now listen, what's the call to action on those YouTubes, Lisa? I've listened to those. What is it? And I love the answer that she gave me back. Do you want to share what you said? Is so perfect. Do you recall?
Hint.
Because you said, I don't have a call to action, because right now I'm getting good at doing YouTube. And I'm getting good at having these conversations. And that's the step that I'm at right now. It wasn't exactly that, Lisa, but I was like, oh yeah, for some people, they can't just jump in and be like Debbie and be like, come work with me. Lisa's doing it in the way that works for her. And it is beautiful. And it takes courage every step of the way in learning. So
Yeah, it was to develop the know, like, and trust factor. And for me, talking to the camera all by myself was really uncomfortable. So I thought, why don't I bring another coach in, and one of you ladies can join me someday too. Doesn't have to be on grief mindset. It helps me feel like I'm showcasing somebody else too. So it made it more comfortable. That was my way of stepping out there into the world. But Thais and Debbie, I was really scared to step into the world with my business. I felt like it's private and whatever. But both of you have taught me, and I've said this before, that this is our marketplace. I have just as much business putting a store on a corner as Charlotte or Marie or Dr. Cheryl and anybody on social media. If people are going to post pictures of their children and their beach, why can't I post pictures of my storefront? So you got your business to share, and nobody's going to know about it unless you uncover it.
amen.
Amen. Amen. And let me just point out again, from the business side, she has the gift of being a business owner. She is like completely the business mindset, the entrepreneur mindset just comes so naturally to her that sometimes I will teach something on my call about this business mindset. And then the next call that Debbie's there, she's doing all of those things that I just said. She had no idea, right? That I was teaching that same concept. And that has happened so many times. It's funny now. And so that's why with Debbie, the first thing she catches is like, how can I make your business a little bit better? And of course, we know that having a call to action after your posts, after your YouTubes or whatever, that is how you get the clients. So I love that. And also I love how much she respected the boundaries. When Lisa really explains, oh, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't want to do it that way. And I think that was such a beautiful example of respect, of autonomy, right? Understanding that we all progress differently. And maybe we're not going to have this super business mindset like Debbie has. And it's okay. You can still have your boutique style business, your success. Lisa's success doesn't need to be the same as Debbie's. And I love the respect that comes here in this program too. Thank you, Lisa, for your example. That was really great answer, by the way. Really standing up for what you believe and what you need. Love that.
Thanks, ladies.
Okay, next, I would love to hear from Jane. Jane, you had also a lot of engagement in the chat. You had a lot of people talking about your talk. Tell us a little bit more of what happened in the summit. How was that preparation for you?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Ty. So I'm a functional nutrition and lifestyle practitioner, and also I'm trauma informed. Although I would love to share all the information I know about the functional nutrition part and why lifestyle is so important for our health, but I wanted to make awareness really for the nervous system part, just because I've seen different clients that as much as you do, whatever you do for them, and a lot of the practitioners I work with, they'll say, I've tried this, I don't understand. And we realize, oh, the nervous system, they're not calm and they can't get better. So I really wanted to start with that and give information on that first. But I have tons of information I'd love to share on the other. But it's been, God put this passion in my heart back in my 20s. And I've been helping people unofficially my entire life. And so when I came to your coaching business here, it was a great thing because I had a wonderful coaching experience a couple of years back. And for me, I think I just needed the little bit of a smaller group, a little bit of a push, because if you learn everything, but you don't really follow through on the actions, it doesn't really do you any good. So actually, when I came, I had forgotten some of the things, but I loved the weekly meetings that we had and the personal right away. I could say, I don't know how to do this. And right away, it's the screen is pulled up and you help me with that because I need to have that done right away so I can get going on something. And although we all have really busy life, and I was trying to fit things in, and off and on, I think, oh, I don't know, is this the right time of my life to do this? Do I have enough time? But you do what you need to do. You do what is important. And I know, how am I going to help people if they don't know I do this? Because that's how it's been for years. I'm really glad that with all the help that you both gave me through this coaching, so that I can, and oh gosh, had a fear of posting. I mean, people would show me, you just do this, just do this. And I said, okay. And I just didn't do it. I don't know, I can't explain it, but thank you. So now I'm posting, and I actually was having fun doing it, and I know I'll continue. And I just made a mistake yesterday where I pulled some, I didn't have the right link, but it's okay. As we were saying, perfection, you're just going to learn as you go. And I've seen other mistakes. I never look at them and say, oh, that was dumb. I just say, oh, it's been a great experience. And I have people that have opted into my gift, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm not going to say it's all fun. A lot of it is, it's a little hard, but everything is to grow and exciting. It's like an exciting mixture of all kinds of emotions, but it's been fun. And just to be able to say, oh, I actually put together a talk and did it on the summit, it's a step towards more that you can do. So you've both been really so helpful, and just learning from everyone. And oh yeah, the summit, even all of the talks seem to just be interwoven. You would have thought we planned this, because what different people said, even if it was something not especially related to health, but what I do, you have to be empathetic when you're working with people, no matter what you're doing. And I see that some of the things that people said, I can pull into my business in a certain way when I look at the clients that I help. So it's all around, just, I don't even know what word to use. It just blew me away, all of it. So thank you.
So good.
Jane, what you do with people through functional medicine and nutrition and trauma informed, all this stuff is just misunderstood, right? People it just goes right over their head because it's like you said it and they're like, wah, wah, they didn't hear it. So that is the part that we really want to help, because what you can do to heal somebody and to make them feel better is so necessary. But unless you're in this coaching space that we're in, unless you found your way, like you said, when you were in your 20s, you found your way step by step to that place. Unless you've done that, you're not hearing what somebody is saying. So I really appreciate you going through it and educating people on what it is you can do. So anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah, I would say I think what really pushed me when I was into doing or wanting to do this is the aggravation and the frustration that I saw when people would say, "Oh, I went to my doctor and I got these pills," or they want to give me the surgery. Even that, but there's other steps to look at first. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert in that, but I do know there's so many other things that are simple things like why wouldn't you do that first? So to me, it's just I feel like, oh, let me help more people. I just want to just give them information they can decide. But yeah, it's been a great experience.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Kathleen, let's hear
Yes,
from
ma'am.
you. Yes.
Well, ditto on so many of the points that other ladies have already said. I am a certified financial planner, and I'm planting my flag in helping widows work through the grief, get their arms around the money, and emerge with passion for their next chapter. And because you can't do one without the other. But if you're just going to be analytical and just go, okay, these are the dollars and these are the cents, but your person is grieving and heartbroken and stuck in playing through memories. We need to deal holistically and see the person, have humanity, and yet at the same time be aware of the dollars, the cents, the retitling assets. Do we need to change the portfolio? What about the tax situation? Yada, yada, blah, blah. But anyway, so I hope there's a market for that because we'll see. I had 6 or 7 people opt in. I just checked before we came on. And so I'm grateful. I'm a repeater. I'm a slow repeater, but the support from the women, I have to shout out to Lisa Kelly. She's been a role model for reluctant social media types like myself. And she's just been a real angel. And that's something that you bring and that it permeates through this process because it's not easy, Debbie. You make it look easy, but it is.
I know it's not. I've been there. I know it's not. Yeah.
Oh, girl, but you are so polished. You are so professional. You are one to emulate. And that's why we're all here. We want to learn from the best. And so I appreciate the experience of, okay, you can't just sit on your tush and read about it. And I have been a slow starter. I have been reluctant. And as a licensed person, we weren't allowed to post. It's like I got the email when I was on vacation from my compliance officer years ago. She said, if you're on Facebook, get off it. And the fine is $10,000 a day. And I'm like, but I'm on vacation. I'm like, well, $10,000. Okay, I'm off. So things have changed and evolved, and I have evolved my business so that I would have the freedom to be able to coach and to do this. It's been very positive. It's really forced me to be, like somebody said, I don't know who it was. It's like, I've been the best kept secret in my area on the planet for what I do. And if this is what you were meant to do to help others, it's time to speak up. So that's what the summit has been able to provide me an avenue for speaking up.
Yes, thank you. And I'm going to say for clarity for anybody listening, we're recording this at 3:54 and Kathleen finished her talk, I would say at about 2 o'clock, 2:20, something like that. And she just said, so we're talking like an hour and 15 minutes. She's had 6 opt-ins already. So she just literally finished and shared her QR codes. That is really the power of presenting like that and being able to do that. So thank you for sharing that number with me. And to answer your question, does what you do matter? I can say from my own personal experience, I lost my brother-in-law in July, and my sister-in-law is very close to my age. And I immediately heard what you said. She's losing her. And I immediately started talking to my husband. She's losing one Social Security check. She's going to pay more in taxes. I literally was quoting your talk. So you are making a difference. I'm grateful for what you taught me. So thank you so much. Charlotte, you had something to add.
Yeah, and Jane reminded me of this, and I think Lisa a little bit too. When I first came into the program, I was hysterical in that if I didn't do things the right way, if I didn't get this to work, I would get out of sorts and frustrated because I just thought that's what a good coach does. That's what a perfect coach does. They get everything right. They dot their I's, they cross their T's. But I learned, but that is not true. Because when we're looking for coaches, when you are looking to connect with people, you are not looking for perfection. You're looking for other things. You're looking for honesty, integrity. You're looking for people who do make mistakes because that shows that they're real. And that's just a good takeaway. And just a short story, I reached out to someone, I asked them a question, and they sent me back a response, an AI response. I could tell. It was this long. And listen, it was perfect. But did I respond back? No, because that's not what I want. That's not what I'm looking for. So that just helped me to see that when I make those little errors, when this doesn't happen, maybe I misspelled a word, whatever it is, that's okay because people are looking for different things and perfection is not one of them.
Yeah. Oh my
Right.
goodness, that's
So
that's
good.
so good. So good. All right, we're going to go to the queen right now, and the queen Thais is going to be put on the spot because Thais was also a speaker at the Design Live Thrive Summit. She actually has spoke at every summit, and as everybody already knows, she is my partner in this whole thing, and thank goodness because I couldn't do it without her. So I would like Thais to talk about herself and her business and how she supports women because she does have a beautiful perspective. Tice was a client who came through the program. We can't remember what year. We need to look it up, but she came through the program and was immediately highly successful. And if I'll tell on her before she tells on herself, she was wildly successful. And then after being wildly successful to achieve what she wanted to achieve, she said, I don't think I want to do that way. My kids are important. My family's important. I actually don't want a business like that. And she would have never known if she wouldn't have went forward and achieved that to be able to come back and say, this is the kind of business I want because I am picking my kids up from school and I am doing that. I was texting her right before this. Are you going to go pick up your kids or what's the status? Which she did during one 30-minute talk. Anyway, Thais, we would love for you to talk about yourself and what you do to help people.
Oh, that thank you. No one will know which talk I missed because I was there at the end. So we're not going to tell anyone. But I was a client, and the summit was the very first summit, and it changed everything for me. It truly changed how I see myself. And I know that I give this example, and now the coaches here, they're like, oh, yes, because it is so transformative. And you're right. I did create my 6-figure business, and it was amazing. Loved it. But I looked at my kids and I was like, wow, they grew because I was so focused on the business. And again, as Debbie, you guys all know, Debbie, as your mentor, you know that she has a style. And we sometimes tend to want to follow that style. And it wasn't for me. I can't do that. I have my little kids and I wanted to be with them. So it's true that I got to a point where I was like, no, I don't want to just work so much to achieve a goal that I thought somebody else needed to know. I needed to be a 6-figure coach. And it got to a point where I talked to you, Debbie, and your coach me, it's possible. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to. And it's such a light way to see your business and decide the boutique style business that you want to create. So thank you for your support, Debbie, to allow me to have the business that I have always dreamed of and I didn't even know. But yes, I coach women with a picture perfect life because I was that too. And I actually am. If you look at my life, it's literally what do you have to complain about, right? I have everything. I have twins, for crying out loud. Now I have a fluffy dog, right? I have everything you can possibly imagine, especially from an immigrant that came to this country as an au pair, making $200 a week, right? And now the life that I have today, it is just such a beautiful life. But the happiness does not come from those things. So when you feel unhappy, you feel unfulfilled, where are you going to complain to? You have the prettiest house in the neighborhood. You have the brand new car. You have the bag you want. What is that to complain about? And that's where I found myself that no one really understood why I felt so unhappy. And I didn't understand either until I learned the process of really being connected with yourself and your future self. How can we get connected with the future and allow you, your future you, to bring the fulfillment to your life? And as a result, you are creating the life that you dream when you wake up, right? You wake up as your future self. And I didn't know that was an actual process, that is a framework that we're able to follow, and we're able to create that version of you when we understand our perception, how your reality is created. There are the facts, right? And the fact is that We are all sitting down here in this virtual room, but the reality is very different. I bet no one here was thinking that, oh, yes, I'm sitting on this chair. No, you were thinking that I'm hungry. I need to use the bathroom. I need to make dinner. I can't believe I didn't. So we're everywhere. But the truth is, the facts are that you're just sitting. That's all. Everything else is happening in your mind. So that's what I help women not only understand the difference, but really feel more empowered from that difference, from the facts and your realities are not the same thing. So how can we create the reality that you want instead of following, what everybody else tells you need to do? Yeah, that is my business. That's what I've been doing for a few years now. And thank you, Debbie, because I would not have this beautiful business without you. That's for sure.
Thank you, Thais. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up because probably we do need a bathroom break, a drink break, all the things. What I want to say one last time is thank you guys for letting me do what I believe I was born to do. And thank you for having the same mission as me, right? Wanting to change the world through coaching. I appreciate you, the dedication, the work. I know how much work it is. I appreciate that. This is your last chance. I'm going to tell you, get the VIP ticket, listen to all these talks, opt in for their things, go looking for it in your promo folder, and then make sure you follow along so you can be at our next summit in September, the Design Live Thrive Summit for women. Again, thanks, ladies, so much for being here. So much love to you guys. We'll see you later.